You tired of rising electricity bills, or maybe you just want backup power during outages. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to install a 1 kilowatt solar power system from scratch. This guide is designed for absolute beginners and home users. We aren't just talking theory, I'm going to walk you through the components, the wiring, and the safety checks. Quick reality check. What can a 1 kilowatt system run? It's perfect for a small home setup, lighting, ceiling fans, a TV, and charging your devices. It won't run an air conditioner, but it will keep your essentials running for free. Let's get started. First, what actually is a 1 kilowatt system? It simply means the solar panels can generate 1000 watts of power at peak sunlight. Here is what makes up the system. 1 solar panels. You'll usually need 2 550 watt panels or 3 to 4 330 watt panels. 2. The inverter. This is the brain. It converts the sun's DC energy into the AC electricity your house uses. 3 batteries. If you are off-grid, these store power for the night. 4 safety gear. DC breakers, surge protection, and lightning arresters. Never skip these. Today we are focusing on a hybrid/off-grid setup, meaning you have batteries for backup. If you are going on-grid, the wiring is similar, but you skip the batteries. Before buying anything, look at your roof. A 1 kilowatt system produces roughly 4 to 5 units, kilowatt hours, of electricity per day depending on the sun. Direction matters. If you're in the northern hemisphere, your panels must face south. If you're in the southern hemisphere, face them north. This guarantees maximum exposure. Crucial tip: shadows are the enemy. Even a small shadow from a chimney or tree branch can drop your system's efficiency by 50%. Pick a spot that is shadow-free from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Screenshot this list. Here's what you need. The hardware: solar panels, mounting structure, galvanized iron or aluminum, inverter, batteries. The wiring: 4 mm or 6 mm, DC solar cable, red and black, MC4 connectors, and battery lugs. The tools: drill machine, 10 mm/13 mm wrench, wire strippers, and a multimeter. Budget-wise, a full off-grid 1 kilowatt system usually costs, depending on your battery choice. Lithium batteries cost more upfront but last longer than lead acid. This is the most important part of the video. If you get the math wrong, you could burn out your inverter or start a fire. Let's grab a calculator and size your system correctly. 1. The solar panel math: string sizing. First, we match the panels to the inverter. Let's assume you're using a standard 1 kilowatt 12 volt hybrid inverter and 2 550 watt solar panels. Inverter spec example: max PV voltage VOC 102 volts, DC critical limit, MPPT range 30 volts to 80 volts. DC panel spec example: 550 watts, open circuit voltage VOC 49.6 volts, short circuit current ISC 14.0 amps. Should we connect them in series or parallel? Let's do the math. Option A, series connection math: 49.6 volts plus 49.6 volts equals 99.2 volts. Result: dangerous. Why? In cold weather, voltage increases. That 99.2 volts will jump over 102 volts and destroy your inverter. Option B, parallel connection. Math: voltage stays same, 49.6 volts. Amps add up: 14 amps plus 14 amps equals 28 amps. Result: safe. 49.6 volts is well within the 102 volts limit. Conclusion: for this specific 1 kilowatt inverter, we must wire in parallel. 2. Sizing the DC breaker, PV side. Now let's protect that wire. You don't guess the breaker size, you calculate it. Rule: NEC code says use a safety factor of 1.56 or roughly 1.25 times 1.25. Calculation: total current IC 28 amps from our parallel connection. Formula: 28 amps times 1.56 equals 43.68 amps. Selection: you can't buy a 43 amp breaker, so we round up to the nearest standard size. Buy a 50 amp or 63 amp DC breaker, 2-pole. Voltage rating: ensure the breaker is rated for DC, not AC, and at least 125 volts or 500 volts. 3. Sizing the battery fuse, the big one. This is where most beginners fail. A 1 kilowatt inverter draws a massive amount of current from a small 12 volt battery. The math: power 1000 watts, battery voltage 12 volts, inverter efficiency 85%, 0.85, Formula: watts divided by volts times efficiency equals amps. Calculation: safety margin: 98 amps times 1.25 equals 122.5 amps. Selection: you need a 125 amp or 150 amp DC fuse, ANL or Class T type. Do not use a cheap car audio fuse here. 4. Sizing the cables. Wire gauge. Thick wires save lives. Here is the minimum sizing. Solar to inverter 28 amps. Use 6 mm squared 10 American wire gauge solar cable. It handles up to 35 to 40 amps safely. Battery to inverter 100 amps plus. Use 25 mm squared 4 AWG or preferably 35 mm squared 2 AWG welding cable. Pro tip: keep battery cables shorter than 1 meter to stop voltage drop. 5. Surge protection device, DC SPD. Finally, protection against lightning. Spec: you need a Type 2 DC SPD. Voltage rating: it must be higher than your system voltage but lower than the inverter's max limit if possible. Selection: for our 50-volt parallel setup, a 150-volt DC SPD is perfect. If you can only find 500-volt SPDS, that is also standard and acceptable for small residential setups. Panel mounting process. Let's build. Always assemble your mounting structure on the ground first to make sure the pieces fit, then move it to the roof. Secure the legs using expansion bolts, anchor fasteners. Solar panels act like sails in the wind. If this isn't tight, a storm will blow them away. Use a spirit level to ensure it's straight. Place your panels on the structure. Tighten the clamps or bolts gently. Don't over-tighten or you might crack the glass. The standard tilt angle should match your city's latitude, usually between 15 to 30 degrees. Electrical connections, step by step. Welcome to the engine room. We have our materials sized perfectly from the last chapter. Now, we are going to wire them up. We will follow the path of the energy from the roof, DC, to the battery, and finally to your home AC. Critical rule: never work on live wires. Ensure the solar panels are covered with a blanket or working at night and the grid supply is turned off. It's step 1. Solar panel wiring the roof. Specs: 2 times 550 watt panels. Work 49.6 volts. IC 14 amps each. Target parallel connection. Because our inverter has a max MPPT voltage of 80 volts, we cannot connect these huge panels in series, which would be approximately 100 volts. We must use parallel. Take your MC4 Y connectors, plug the positive cable from panel 1 and panel 2 into the Y connector. Now you have one single positive output. Do the same for the negatives. Now, run your 6 mm squared twin-core solar cable from these Y connectors down to where your inverter is located. Step 2. The DC distribution box protection. Specs: DC isolators. DC SPD 150 volts to 500 volts. DC MCB 63 amps. Do not plug the solar wires directly into the inverter yet. They must go through a DC distribution box. Here is the wiring sequence inside the box. 1. DC disconnect switch, rotary isolator. The wires from the roof enter here first. This allows you to manually cut off power from the roof quickly. 2. DC SPD surge protection device. Connect the SPD in parallel after the disconnect switch. Positive wire to the SPD positive terminal. Negative wire to the SPD negative terminal. Earth wire goes to your grounding rod. This protects your equipment from lightning surges. 3. DC MCB 63 amps 500 volts. From the disconnect switch, the power goes through the DC MCB. This protects against short circuits. The output of this MCB will eventually go to the inverter. The step 3, battery to inverter, the heartbeat. Specs: 12 volt battery, 35 mm squared cable, 125 amp fuse. Warning: this step must be done before connecting solar or grid. This is the most important rule in solar installation. Always connect the battery to the inverter first. The inverter needs the battery to power up its brain. Prepare the cable. Take your thick 35 mm squared copper cable. Install the fuse. Mount the 125 amp DC fuse, ANL or Class T, on the positive plus cable, as close to the battery terminal as possible. Connect to inverter. Connect the positive and negative cables to the inverter's battery terminals. Tighten them securely. Connect to battery. Finally, bolt the lugs onto the battery terminals. You might see a small spark. That is normal. The inverter screen should now turn on. is Step 4. Solar to inverter PV input. Specs: 6 mm squared cable. Inverter PV input. Now that the inverter is awake, we can introduce the solar power. Take the cables coming from the output of your DCMCB in the distribution box. Insert them into the PVIN terminals on the inverter. Ensure positive goes to positive and negative to negative. Turn on the DC disconnect switch and the DCMCB. The inverter should detect solar power. Step 5. AC input grid connection. Specs: energy meter, AC disconnect, AC SPD, AC MCB. If you want to charge your batteries from the grid on cloudy days, follow this sequence. Source: from your main energy meter. AC disconnect, install a 2-pole AC isolator switch, protection, wire an AC SPD surge protection, and a standard AC MCB, single pole or double pole. Input: connect the wires, phase, neutral, and earth into the inverter terminal marked AC input or grid in. Is Step 6. AC output powering the home. Specs: inverter AC out, home appliances. Finally, let's get power to your lights and fans. Output: run a cable from the inverter terminal marked AC output or load. Distribution: this wire should go to a specific subpanel or directly to the specific breakers for the rooms you want to power. Neutral bonding: check your local electrical code regarding neutral ground bonding here, but usually for simple off-grid, you connect phase and neutral to your load. Quick recap of the sequence: assemble DC box, wired isolator, SPD MCB. Battery first. Connect 12-volt battery via 125 amp fuse. Solar second. Connect panels via DC box to inverter. Grid third. Connect AC grid input, load. Last, connect your appliances to AC output. Everything is wired, but before we flip all the switches, we need to configure the software settings. Inverter setup and configuration. Wiring is done. Now the battery goes to the inverter first. The inverter needs battery power to wake up. Once it's on, connect the solar wires. Go into settings. You need to configure two main things. Battery type. Set this to lead acid, gel, or lithium depending on what you bought. Priority setting. Set this to solar first or SBU, solar battery utility. This ensures you use free sun power before using grid electricity. Testing and commissioning. Moment of truth: before flipping the switch, use a multimeter. Check the voltage coming from the panels. If your panels are 24 volts, you should see around 30 to 40 volts. Open circuit voltage, VOC. Flip the breaker. The inverter should detect the solar input. Look at the display. You should see a charging icon. Now plug a load, like a drill or a lamp, into the inverter output. It works. You are now generating your own electricity. Maintenance tips. Solar is low maintenance, not no maintenance. Cleaning. Dust reduces power. Clean your panels with water and a soft sponge every 2 weeks. Connections. Every 6 months. Check your wire connections. Heat and cold can loosen bolts. Battery water. If you have tubular batteries, check the distilled water level indicators monthly. Final chapter. Cost, savings, and conclusion. So, is it worth it? A 1 kilowatt system can save you roughly $15 to $30 a month, adjust for local rates. This means the system pays for itself, ROI in usually 3 to 4 years. After that, it's essentially free power for the next 20 years. If you're feeling confident, give it a try. I've linked the specific tools and parts I used in the description below. If this video helped you, please hit that subscribe button and like the video. It helps the channel immensely. Stay charged, and I'll see you in the next one.